Hey there, everyone. It's Brad Kenny, Executive Artistic Director of the Ogunquit Playhouse, back here again with our OPTV Checking In series. And today I get to check in with one of our own at Ogunquit, 10 years performing at least at the Ogunquit Playhouse, star of national tours, musical theater, and television, our own Joe Coots. Hi, Joseph.
Hi, Bradford T. Kenny. I'm so excited to be here right now. This is awesome.
Well, we are awful excited to have you. So, how you doing? Where are you?
Oh, I think I was supposed to be on Ogunquit right now, but that didn't happen.
You were. You would have been opening in a show this week.
Yes. I am in back home in Illinois, a little town called Winnebago. It's about 70 miles west of Chicago. So when everything was breaking down, New York City was shutting down. I literally jumped in a cab, bought a flight, and away to the airport, thinking I would escape all the chaos, the coronavirus, everything. So I got cab, got to the airport, got back to my dad's house in Winnebago, my 81-year-old sweet dad, who's a big fan of the Ogunquit Playhouse. And so I get back there, and I'm thinking I'm going to be there maybe 2 weeks. Well, 3 days in, I started getting sick. I started coughing. I got a temperature of 102, and I didn't believe it. So I went outside in the snow, took my shirt off and rolled around, came back in with 102.5. I'm like, no, I can't have this. So sure enough, I got tested and I tested positive. So it's all good. Knock on wood. My old man, my dad, he never got nothing. So
wow.
We did a good job. And I literally in a refrigerator, I had dish towels tied to each handle, so I would touch it, he wouldn't, and we Lysoled everything, and so we were pretty proactive. And he just claims though he can never get sick, so not even the world pandemic will hold him down. That's what.
Wow. Well, you're very wise. Be careful. We know and love your dad, and he's friends to a lot of us, and that's incredible. Were there other people there with you, or just the two of you in the house?
Just me and him. And it was like I said, I thought I escaped it, but then I started talking to a friend of mine, another friend of mine, they all tested, they all got it. And I'm like, oh man, wow, this is bigger than, I remember standing on the streets of New York 3 days before that saying, if this hits New York, it's on. And I was right.
It's going to be, yeah. I felt the same. I was in the city too, doing auditions, and we were a couple days into it. We started to change our audition processes and, like headshots and resumes, everything just digitally. By the end of that day, trying to keep everybody safe in the room, I said, we have to stop. We have to just stop and wait for this to be whatever it's going to be. And I think I was in the city about 2 more days, and then I came up to Maine. I said, I need to be at the Playhouse and get up there as quickly as I can. And I've never gone back. I still haven't been back. So you're in Winnebago now. Is that near Chicago? Tell us all.
Yeah, it's about 60 miles west of Chicago. Actually, today, my cousins have a condo in St. Charles, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. And they live in Nashville, but she wanted me to come over and check out the condo, make sure everything's going good here. And so normally my life now is I hang out with my dad all day. I cook him food, and he loves that. And then we have a whole bunch of little neighbor kids that are all anywhere from 2 to 6 years old. And it's literally, our house is like their house. They do whatever they want. They come in, they run around. I squirt water at them, make them lunch. It's just the best time of all time. So today I was like, I'll come check this condo and come talk to you guys peacefully. And then I get here, and it turns out they're doing construction all over the roof and the siding, and I can't escape it. I think they're on lunch break now.
Well,
I think boys are on lunch break.
All right. Well, if they start, just pound on the wall. You're Joe Coots.
Yeah.
You're like, see this face?
Yeah. How do you like these apples?
Yeah. So well, the Joe Coots Kids Camp sounds great. It sounds like every parent's horror and then the best daycare in the neighborhood. So all at the same time.
It's so cute, and it finally gets peaceful about 7 o'clock at night when they're all going down to bed, or 8 o'clock. So then that's me, Dad, sit there and chat. But it's a lot of fun. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Wow. How about your sister? Is she nearby?
She's 2.5 hours south. I got another one that's close, and then my brother about an hour away.
Okay.
So they pipe in, check in every once in a while. But yeah, that's been my life. It's literally been get up in the morning, check on Dad. When I first had the corona, when I had it, we stayed at opposite ends of the house, and I literally would go out the yard stay away from him, just avoid him at all costs. I'd cook him food, I'd leave it, he'd dish himself, and I'd leave. So we did our best to stay apart. But now that, you know, I've been through it, I've already given plasma once. I'm giving it again on Monday.
Wow.
That was neat.
And what's that about? If you give
Well,
plasma?
people that have the antibodies, you give plasma. And so I went in, blood bank, and they called me. And they basically take all your blood out, pull all the plasma, and put it back in. And I was able to donate 800 milliliters of plasma. That's 4 bags. And they literally called me and said that I saved directly 4 lives. And they named which hospital I saved the people at.
Oh, my God.
And that was a pretty emotional experience. I was like, wow, because at the time you're doing it, you don't really think. You're just doing something to help. And you don't know why or where it's, you just don't, you know, it was all new. And then when they called me and they directly said that there was 4 lives that I saved. And they named the hospital.
How did you hear about that?
How did I hear? The blood bank called me and thanked me for my donation. And then it said, here's directly where I went. I went to Swedish American Hospital, Illinois, and listed them all.
Wow.
So,
well, good job, Coots, changing lives. How does it feel in the Chicago area and all that? Is that, does it feel like it's safe for passing, or is you're in the middle of it?
I think it's safe. A lot of people are, in my opinion, are just so tired and sick of being hunkered down. You know, it's my good friend Leslie Jordan says, hunker downers. So I think people are getting tired of it, but I think that we got to be cautious with, you know, friends of mine own bars and restaurants here. And I keep telling them, like, you know, they allow outdoor seating now and restricted 25% capacity, that kind of thing. And I think that's all fine and dandy, but I'm afraid if we go 4 or 5 steps forward, we'll end up going 20 steps back.
Of course.
Right. And I really think that that's something that everybody's aware of, but, you know, people are taking a risk. And then, you know, some have looked at me and says, well, you know, you only had a couple of bad nights that you were sick. And I'm like, yeah, but 1, I'm Joe Coots. 2, right. I'm healthy, handsome, and humble. So it's only the last 2 or 3. But no, I'm joking, but I was one of the lucky ones. You know, I got through it pretty easily. So.
Wow. And you have your dad to think about, and a lot of us have people like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I'm glad I wasn't in LA with Miss Struthers. That would have been, as much as I love and miss her so much, I would have been protecting her. Like I always try to anyway. So.
That's true. She's at home, and I'm talking to her a lot. So that's one of my questions for you. I don't know if a lot of people know that about you, but you're truly family to us here, and you became more, you know, real family, because you not only met our lovely blonde friend, but you met her at Ogunquit. That's correct, right? You tell us a little bit about that, and then you guys have had a journey that's lasted 10 years. Tell us how it grew.
I met her day 1 rehearsals for Full Monty, I believe 2007 at the Playhouse. She walks up to me and starts crying, and I'm like, I've never met this person in my life, and I'm like, well, why is she crying? And then she looks at me. She goes, "You look just like my father did at his age when he lost his life, and I was about the same age." And so she looks at me, and then she calls her sister, and her sister sent a photo out of her dad at that age, my age, and it's very, very similar. So that's kind of what started our friendship, but it goes above and beyond that. I mean, this woman, after the last 13 years now, she's literally been a second mother to me. And when my mom died 2 years ago, she came up to me and she goes, "I'm now your earth mother," which I never heard that term before, but I thought it was pretty neat. And I said, I'll accept that. So our relationship is very tight. We talk and call and text. And when I was in LA, I got on tour with KINKY BOOTS, and I went back to LA and I signed in a new lease on an apartment. She's like, "Why are you doing that?" I go, "I don't know. I need a place to live, obviously." She goes, No. She goes, "You come stay in my house." I'm like, "I don't want to live in the house. That's too much." She goes, "No, Lindsay, your good friend and Julian are moving out." She goes, "Let me redo the guest house and it's all yours." And I was like, okay. Took all about 2 seconds to think about it. So she likes me being there. She don't like to be alone. And it is a big house. And I've been in a house by myself. And it is a little weird, you know, so I can understand why she would want somebody. And she loves me. She's my earth mom.
Yeah. Sally Struthers is Joe Coots' earth mom. It's true.
Yeah.
You are quite a pair. And she does have a beautiful home with lots of space and a swimming pool and a beautiful guest cottage sitting right there. And
every morning I'd wake up, open the door of the guest cottage, and there would be the sports section from the LA Times wedged in the door waiting for me. Can't ask for anything better than that.
And you have done some killer barbecues there too. I can see chicken with beer in it, in a beer can.
Beer can chicken. It's the greatest.
Beer can chicken. See, it was stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Talking about meeting folks at Ogunquit, any favorite memory if you had to pick one?
Well, Ogunquit is unlike other places I've worked in terms of, you show up, you rehearse, you do the production, and you move on. And when it's over, and that's it. Ogunquit, to me, though, is a different place because of the sense of community there. And that town embraces the Playhouse like I've never seen anywhere else before. And the memories and all that are great memories on stage, and the production values are second to none. But what tops all that, in my opinion, as an actor working there, is how lovely that town just takes you in, treats you like a king, loves on you, and you love them back. It's also one of the most beautiful places in the world, which helps. It's just like, I got relationships. I still talk to people via Facebook. The Kingston family and Kenny Bumport with the Clam Shack, we talk all the time. In fact, I'm buying some lobsters from him. He's going to send them out to me. Leanne at Amore, I just talked to her yesterday. And I've not gotten that at other places I've worked. I mean, you come and you go and you're forgotten. And that place does it for you. I think leadership has a lot to do with that on your end, and all the people that you put underneath you or with you. And then it's just the overall sense of community. And it's also, it helps too there because the housing, and I really like it when we can rehearse there too. I know it's hard in New York and, budget stuff. I get all that. But it just really builds that sense of tightness in the cast. And I think the shows end up probably being better too, in my experience. I like rehearsing there. It just gives you 2 more weeks to be there. So
yeah.
I think the people and the sense of community.
Yeah, I would agree. It's nice when the cast can rehearse up here because they work during the day. They got their nights free. They can run around. It's just Ogunquit's always been such a popular destination, certainly in the summer, that room rates are very expensive. I don't know if people understand.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars just to house all the actors when they come do shows. And you guys, when you're there, we've got another cast rehearsing. So literally we can be dark for 2 days and boom, there's another Broadway show on stage. And we've pulled it off at times. It depends on the size of the cast. And then,
well, we were lucky with Kinky because we were the last show of the season.
Right.
So with Kinky Boots, I was able to do. We got lucky there. So.
Yeah, Murder on the Orient Express was right before you, and so small cast, big cast, we could blend you. You were supposed to come and do Crazy for us. Crazy for You.
It was.
And Dirty Dancing was going to be right in front of you, and a new production of it, and that would have been 2 groups on top of each other. So I don't know. We all might have been in New York again rehearsing. So
that's okay too.
But
everything that you do in Ogunquit, after show, before the show, whatever, it's a lot of fun. I mean, you can't go to one place that's wrong. That Marginal Way is just one of the most gorgeous places I've ever seen in my entire life. The overall experience there. I remember the night we closed Full Monty, we all, after the show, went out to Marginal Way. I don't know if we were supposed to, but we did. We just stayed out there till sunset. And I'll never forget Hunter Foster and I holding each other like we were a prom photo. I think it was a photo of us somewhere. And it was literally at sunset. And I had a flower in my ear, if I remember right. And then we all get up and left the next day. But memories like that, to me, I'll always cherish and remember. And then doing Kinky Boots this year, that to me was awesome. Because doing it on tour, you're playing houses. And that show, to me, is perfect. The intimacy of that show, because of the story that's being told, is so perfect in a house the size of it. I just love it. The audience is right there. They're right with us from the get-go. And they just go ballistic at the end. And you felt like you were part of them. Right? It just was the best. We had the orchestra in the back, if I recall. Yeah, we did. And we were just on top of them. And I'll never forget those memories ever.
Yeah. I can picture you coming out in the end of Kinky Boots, and as everyone's transitioned, and then there where you were in the boots, and it was literally, we couldn't hear you. The screaming was so loud, and you're right. And to be able to use the Broadway sets and costumes, but
Oh, yeah.
they fit so beautifully in that space. And yet it was almost probably the first time that all those assets were all assembled with all of you in a space that intimate, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Sure.
you get to feel the story and all those words. So
another fun memory I had was Rue McClanahan during Crazy for You walking up to me. I think we were in tech or something. We're standing back at the Playhouse, and people like that, I'm always picking their brain. My brain's always going. Like I think that you get more knowledge out of somebody than you do ever out of a book or a library anywhere. I think the more you talk to people and their life experiences, I think that's the best way to learn, personally, especially as an actor, and especially if somebody of Rue McClanahan's, the career she had was astonishing. Anyway, so we were talking, I'm picking her brain about stuff, and then she just stops and she looks at me. She's about, 5'1", puts her hand up right to my face. She goes, I wrote this book. She goes, I believe it was my 7 husbands and the 7 that got away. She goes, you would have been the 8th that got away, but I don't know if I'd let you get out of the way, buddy. Like that. She winked at me. So I totally got hit on by Rue McClanahan at the Ogunquit Playhouse. I'll never forget it.
Well, you could have married her. Oh, well,
yeah.
she was married, by the way. But, yeah, we loved Eddie Rue. We loved Eddie Rue. We love Rue McClanahan. Sweet lady. We miss her.
Yeah.
And, that's funny because you were there. And I think Sally must have been there because I got to go to lunch at Amore, the old Amore, with Rue and Sally in one lunch. And I think Kim Starling was with me when she used to work at the Playhouse. And but to sit there with 2 television icons at Amore having breakfast, I'm like, only in Ogunquit, man, would this happen? And so
I'm sure there was all the tables around you were going like this, trying to listen.
Is this even real? And we gossiped too. I mean, Sally Struthers and Rue McClanahan made something to say about their directors and producers and their co-stars, and there was a lot said at that table. I don't think any of them had spent time like that,
Probably not.
And, so out of the 4, we've got Full Monty, Crazy for You, South Pacific. We can't forget your stew pot, right? In South Pacific. And Kinky Boots. Do you have a favorite out of all of them?
Oh, that's a hard one. I really enjoyed South Pacific. That closing number, all the soldiers going off to war. I'll never forget. I got chills right now just thinking about it. That was a neat moment. Ooh, got me there for a minute. Full Monty, obviously. Full Monty's Full Monty. That's the show that I made my career for many years. I love playing that role. I haven't done it in a long time. And that was a fun summer too, because that was the first time I've been there. And it was Hunter and myself and what was it? Happy, some people from the tour. It was set by Keith Andrews, which I enjoyed because he was there when we originally set it for the tour. So he knew all my things. I liked all my tricks. And that was just a lot of fun that summer. And I was also doing Crazy for You at the same time. So I was double dipping. It was hectic. Learning how to play bass. And so I'd rehearse all day and then go do the show at night. So that was fun. But then this last time, I guess with Kinky Boots, I can't really give a favorite. I think they're all great. But Kinky Boots, at the end, bringing that show to that town, to that your audience, I think was really special. I really think that was that moment of those people, and to be one of the first regional theaters to do it, I thought was amazing. And it was a lot of fun. All 4 of them. I mean, South Pacific, I just love that show, and that score is just stunning. And like I said, that final scene, and then Monty, and then Crazy for You was a lot of fun too. Crazy for You, that was a challenge. Remember, we had that big set going in there.
That was the Broadway set, and you had to learn how to play the bass, if I remember correctly.
I did. I actually, funny story is, when you guys cast me as Full Monty, I said, I told Kim Starling, I'm like, that's great, but I said, I need 2 more weeks to get my equity insurance, which I did. I said, is there any other shows up there you guys got going on? She was like, we got Crazy for You. I said, she goes, you play bass? I go, yeah, I play great bass. I never touched a thing in my life.
Liar!
So
Liar!
I snuck it. So I had a show I was doing Fernanda Bowl in Philadelphia, and it just happened to be her music director was like a stand-up bass teacher. I got really lucky. So I got a bass, and he taught me everything I needed to know. And then But then I get up there, I'm doing a show, and I didn't realize I had to sing French in harmony. I'm like, whoa, where's this coming from? So, but no, it was a lot of fun. We had a great time with it.
Well, we were supposed to do that today, this year, and so all those sets and the Broadway costumes have all been restored. So someday soon, we'll all get back, and everything's being held in storage for all of us. And so some of it's in Florida, some of it's in New York, some of it's in Massachusetts, and we'll reassemble it. And we were really fortunate. We had Susan Stroman's team coming in to reset it, and with all of us, it's really going to be exciting when we do it.
I saw one of your questions was, what am I doing theater-wise now? My college theater, Starlight Theater, at the Rock Valley College, where I got started. It's a summer theater. It's 1,100 seats, outdoor, and it's mixed of local community players and then some college kids. And they do 4 shows every year, and they're great. They're awesome. That's where I started off at. So the director is a good friend of mine. We did shows together back in college. He's now the artistic director. So we're doing this thing called Virtually Starlight, and I've been helping him produce it. And so they're showing like different clips of, this year they were doing Disaster, they're doing Hello Dolly, Dream Girls, and something else. I forgot what. Oh, Little Mermaid. So, kids are singing from different parts of the shows. And so what my role is, they're doing a segment called Joe Knows. So last night we did a Zoom segment like this for an hour with Maggie McDowell, who played Earl Lorne in Kinky Boots, who was in the original cast of Disaster. So she came on, we interviewed her, talked to her about her experiences with Disaster. We showed clips of her singing from it. And all those kids and the audience members were just chiming in like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is great. This is great. So I'm going to try to get Sally to do one for Hello Dolly. And then we just got Jodie Benson to do the Little Mermaid. She was the voice of Little Mermaid.
Wow, of course.
And then I'm trying to get Milton Craig Neely, if you'll call me back, Milton, to do Dreamgirls. He was in the original Dreamgirls.
Right, of course.
So it's kind of neat. People can chime in, ask questions about what it was like, beginnings of those shows, and it's been a lot of fun.
Well, that's cool. Well, I love hearing that. All right, our last job here is to do 20 questions in 60 seconds. All right, I'm ready. You ready?
I'm born ready.
You ready? Born ready. And we're off. Name every show you've performed at the Ogunquit Playhouse.
Kinky Boots, Full Monty, Crazy for You, and South Pacific.
How do you take your omelet?
With bacon and cheese.
Do you have a favorite cast album?
Scottsboro Boys.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
A TV show that always makes you laugh?
All in the Family.
A movie that you know every word to?
Shawshank Redemption.
The last thing you bought online? Tell the truth.
A chair for my dad.
Most used. What is the most used app on your phone? You can lie.
Waze gets me around town.
Salty or sweet?
Salty.
What role is on your Broadway bucket list?
Lenny, Mice of Mine.
What is your favorite junk food?
Chicken wings.
That's it. We're done. All right.
Did we do that in 60 seconds?
We didn't do them all. Do you want to do some extra ones?
Yeah. Let's go for the gold.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Oh, gosh. Cameron Diaz.
All right. The worst job you ever did?
Slaughtering chickens.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Last question. Your favorite vacation spot?
Ogunquit, Maine.
We love you for that. And we didn't tell you what to say. Well, we love you, Joe Coots. Thank you so much.
Love you, buddy. Thank you.
Well,
I love you, Ogunquit Playhouse. I love you, Bradford T. Kenny the human. I also love Bradford T. Kenny the dog.
That's true.
Don't tell Sally, but I like Bradford T. Kenny human better than the dog.
Okay, that's all right. I appreciate
love
it.
You all.
We won't tell Sally Struthers. Sally Struthers will never hear any of this. Yes,
no. She don't have a computer, so how can she?
She'll see it. All right.
All right. Love you, buddy.
Talk to you soon. Bye,
Okay.
Joe Coots.